All right, so this is Minutes with MACHE. I'm Sean Dickers. We have Molly and Ruth here from MACHE, and we have the special treat today of having Amy Buckmeyer and Sandra Kim. Amy is our new liaison with HSLDA, and I'll let her explain that more in a little bit, but essentially she is looking out for homeschoolers, and she's protecting them legally, and she's going to share with us a little bit today. So thanks for coming, Amy. I appreciate it.
Excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit. I said you would have a chance to tell us a little bit about HSLDA for those people that might not know what that is. What's the mission of HSLDA, and how do you see HSLDA working with Minnesota or helping the state of Minnesota when it comes to homeschooling?
Sure. So HSLDA stands for the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. We've been around for almost 40 years. And for a bit of background, almost 40 years ago, homeschooling was either illegal or unrecognized across the country. And so HSLDA, along with a lot of state organizations like MACHE, started working to make it legal. And so we're at the point now where homeschooling is not just recognized, but legal in every single state. And so now we have over 100,000 member families, including 2,000 in Minnesota alone. And our mission, just to put it in a nutshell, is to make homeschooling possible. So there are a couple ways we do that. The first is we protect the right to homeschool through our experienced legal team. We have a legal team that's on call 24/7. So if you have a social worker or someone come to your door and have problems with your homeschooling, we can talk you through those initial steps. And if you're a member of HSLDA and the homeschool issue continues to become a problem, we'll defend your rights legally through the court system. We also do things like if schools or jobs won't recognize a high school diploma, we'll communicate with them and explain, this is the law and this is why your diploma is valid. We also offer easy to understand legal summaries of homeschool law in each state, so how to comply. So for example, for the state of Minnesota, you have to notify the local superintendent when you begin homeschooling and then each year afterwards. So if you go to our website, you'll find template forms for how to do that, what to send, what information they need, or what they don't need to do that. Another way we help make homeschooling possible is by equipping homeschoolers through our educational consultants. So if you have a question about what kind of curriculum to use or how to homeschool a special needs kid or what kind of testing you need to do, our educational consultants can walk you through all of that. We also have the HSLDA Academy, which has classes. If you want your high school student to take a class on history or something, we have teachers that can take care of all of that. And we also empower our homeschooling through our compassion grants, where we help families that are in financial need but want to keep on homeschooling by partnering with member families, donors, homeschool leaders, legislators, and anyone really who wants to protect freedom. We'll work with them to help craft some good legislation and ways to assist people.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. We're so thankful for HSLDA and all that you do. Can you tell us how does HSLDA and state organizations like MACHE work together?
Yes, so the biggest way HSLDA works with state organizations is through legislation. We're always tracking legislation and state organizations are always tracking legislation. And so if a bill comes up that's going to be a problem for homeschoolers or is a good thing for homeschoolers, we will work to either fight the bill or to pursue that legislation. And sometimes we'll even come up with draft legislation language that we think would be a really good thing. And the homeschool organizations will work with us and we can make that possible. As we see it, HSLDA provides the legal protection for families and some other benefits like our educational consultants. We offer the classes like with the HSLDA Academy, but state organizations provide the on-the-ground experience. They're the ones who are homeschooling in the states. They know, what it looks like to homeschool there, where to go on the field trips, where to find the connections in the community. State organizations will be the ones who host the conferences and will help provide content, but it's really a partnership to create the best possible experience for homeschool families. And often the local view is the best way to get that. We'll also help if there's a media story that comes up and they need some help with PR work. We'll help craft narratives. We'll write to local newspapers, that kind of thing.
Amy, so thankful for that legal protection that you guys offer in our partnership together. And it's just so good to meet you, Amy and Sandra. And I just have a question. How did you get involved in HSLDA? Was this like a personal calling for you, or just give us a little background on how you ended up with HSLDA?
Yes, so I was actually homeschooled kindergarten through graduation, and I have 4 younger siblings. My mom homeschooled all 5 of us, and we were members of HSLDA for all 21 years that she was homeschooling. So I know it gave my parents a lot of peace of mind growing up. I know my siblings and I all knew where the HSLDA number was in case someone came to the door. We knew that we had a resource to turn to if we, someone challenged our homeschooling or if our diplomas someday had difficulty. But my mom also utilized the other resources HSLDA offered. We have like a transcript service through our store that she used to help compile once we graduated. And they also, HSLDA store has really nice diplomas you can buy for your students. So we all have our high school diplomas we're really proud of. But I was also really involved in HSLDA's youth organization, Generation Joshua, when I was in high school. So I did I governed camps and their student action teams and their clubs. And if you name it, I was probably part of it at some point. And it was just a huge blessing in my life that I was able to actually see how I could make a difference as a teenager in whether it was the political spectrum or just learning about civics and government and the foundation our country was built on. So I went to law school, and when I found out that HSLDA had a job opening, I couldn't believe it because it was such a dream job for me. And I'm still pinching myself that I got through the first interview, much less that they gave me a job. But I just think it's incredible that we get to be part of so many families' homeschool journeys. And sometimes that looks like that first day when they are pulling their kid out and they just want to reach out to find out how to legally comply with their state's homeschool law. And sometimes that's at the darkest point in their homeschool experience where they have a social worker threatening to take their kids because of the way they're homeschooling. And sometimes it's years down the road where you have a student trying to get into college and trying to make sure that their homeschool diploma is going to be recognized. And we get to be part of every step of that journey. And it's really exciting to be part of.
Yeah. That's so cool. Thank you.
Well, you know, Amy, that I'm a new homeschooling mom of 3. And so do you have some advice or resources that you can share?
Yes. So especially if you're new to homeschooling in Minnesota, the exciting thing about Minnesota's homeschooling educational code is that it explicitly recognizes that the child's parent is primarily responsible for ensuring that the child acquires the knowledges and skills essential for effective citizenship. In other words, you're very qualified to teach your kids, and even the state recognizes this. But there are a couple of different things you need to do to comply with Minnesota's homeschool law. So first, you need to have a qualified instructor, which is really easy because if you're a parent, you're automatically qualified. So that's an easy step. Second, there are some required subjects: reading, writing, literature, fine arts, math, science, history, geography, economics, government, citizenship, health, and physical education. I know that list sounds really long, but if you have any questions, HSLDA's consultants can help you figure out how to put together a curriculum to make that possible. Third, you need to keep records. So this includes like your class schedule, if you are testing your student, what kind of test they got, etc. Fourth, you need to test your student annually using a nationally norm-referenced standardized achievement test. And then finally, you need to notify your school district that you're homeschooling each year. So the list can seem long and complicated, but HSLDA can walk you through every single step. We have all this on our website at hslda.org. We have resources. If you just want to reach out and ask, how do I do any of this? We can help equip. And I think that's really the main advice I would give to a new homeschool parent, is a reminder that you're not alone in this. HSLDA is there to help. MACHE is there to help. We were all either homeschooled or we have homeschooled. We've been there, and we're excited to help on this journey.
Amy, what's the, if I just Google search HSLDA, will you pop up at the top on most Google
Yes.
searches? Okay.
At hslda.org will take you all of this. Yep.
All right. So you've talked about a lot of resources that HSLDA has. Ruth and Molly, I'm going to put you on the spot. As you've listened to her talk about, here's the things that HSLDA has to offer, are you hearing things that are complementary at MACHE or things that would fit with what they're offering on their website?
Definitely. We do offer quite a few of the same things on our website. And also, if you join MACHE, you will get a discount to join HSLDA as well. So we really do work together, and we have some specifics as far as even what kind of tests you might want to try to use during, the school year. And also, so we just have a lot of the same options, but it's a great partnership. Ruth, do you think of anything else that?
Well, another thing that I would say is, if you are a member of HSLDA, you have a plethora of people who can back you up with special needs, homeschooling through high school, even the elementary years, and you can call them or email them, and they will get back to you right away and help you. So they have been really helpful for our family, and I know they've been helpful for other MACHE members also. So that's a big plus.
I know.
If you don't mind, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say add to what Ruth is saying. For my family, HSLDA was there. We had an issue with the superintendent at one point asking for a lot more than what a district has a right to ask for. And HSLDA wrote them a friendly letter, very gracious, and the problems just went away. And it was wonderful because you just reminded them of the law. So it was nice that when there's trouble, HSLDA is kind of there to handle things on that legal end. And I feel like MACHE is there to make it so there isn't any trouble. Like we try to make it so that we prevent things before they ever get to the point of law. And that's where our lobbying efforts are kind of face-to-face, getting to know our legislators so that we can work with them to make homeschool friendly laws in the first place. And hopefully we can all educate our superintendents together.
And think about when you're talking about insurance for the year, I mean, it is just pennies to join HSLDA and MACHE as well.
Right. Yeah, and they go hand in hand. I've always appreciated how that works, where you have a national organization and a state organization. Sandra, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, one of the things that I think would be so beneficial to new homeschoolers is we have used our attorneys as well as our consultants to do a series of webinars of how to get started. So we even were able to get Kathy Duffy. So we have her on live to talk about curriculum. So if you go to www.hslda.org/webinars, then you can go and see it whenever you want. And it's totally free. All you have to do is put in your email. So we have a lot of resources, and obviously we love working with MACHE.
Thank you. Thank you both so much for coming today. Now, people thought they were just going to do 10 minutes, but now they're set up to do a whole bunch of surfing and binge watching online with webinars, and that's just wonderful. So thank you for coming, and we just appreciate your time. We appreciate all you do. May the Lord bless you and keep you. So thank you and have a great week.
Okay.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.